Hello, I'm Sam Castor, and today's segment is entitled HEMP 101. You know, there's a lot of excitement in the marketplace today about hemp/CBD products. So what I'm going to cover in this segment is why does it work in the human body? Why should people be excited? But more importantly, how to maximize its impact in human physiology. So let's get going. First of all, how does it work? Well, in human physiology, there's actually a system just like the immune system or the respiratory system. It's called the endocannabinoid system. And it's a series of receptor sites that sit on cells in your brain, all the cells in your immune system, now we know in your respiratory system, in your spine. And what these receptors do is try to maintain homeostasis against all the negative influences that are coming at you all day and all night. So everything we eat, drink, and breathe is full of toxins, which have a negative influence on the system. There is stress, there's poor nutrition. All these things throw the body out of balance and manifest themselves in diseases, disease conditions, or symptoms of disease conditions. So the endocannabinoid system is in charge of trying to maintain balance, or what is called homeostasis. It's basically divided into two groups, the CB1 and the CB2 receptors. Now, there's even talk of a group of CB3 receptors. So science is still involved in the evolution of the discovery of this incredible technology. But here's what we know now, that the endocannabinoid system is the master regulator of health. And when you properly support these receptors on these cells, it affects things like memory, mood, sleep, pain sensation, energy, balance, proper immune function, metabolism, anti-inflammatory responses that are normal to the body. Well, first of all, you need to understand there's three different types of extractions that come from hemp oil to capture what are called phytocannabinoids. In other words, these are molecules in the plant that actually support and influence these cannabinoid receptor sites in the body. So first of all, you've heard of CBD isolates. CBD is one of 100 cannabinoids that naturally occurs in the hemp plant. The advantage of extractions of CBD is it's very economical, and it also eliminates one of the cannabinoids called THC. And THC is the narcotic cannabinoid that exists, for example, in marijuana in very high levels. And even though in the hemp plant it's only 0.3%, there's a lot of people that want no THC whatsoever. And so isolating CBD isolates is a way to achieve that. The next process is called full spectrum hemp oil. And that's where they take the hemp oil and contain all of its naturally occurring molecules. Things like flavonoids, incredible molecules called terpenes, which we now know help the absorption and utilization of these phytocannabinoids in human physiology. So the good side is you get better efficacy with full spectrum. The bad side of full spectrum is it does contain whatever small level of THC that exists in the plant. And then there is a third process. It's called broad spectrum hemp. Broad spectrum hemp is exactly what full spectrum is, only without the THC. So those are the three different extraction types. Now in broad spectrum or full spectrum, you get what is called the entourage effect. And again, I mentioned the term cannabinoids and their synergistic effect with terpenes. Well, terpenes are molecules in the hemp plant, again, that help the absorption and utilization of these cannabinoids. And as this slide says, when hemp cannabinoids, or while they have taken the early limelight, it's the synergy of the activation over 100 other compounds in the hemp plant that might steal the show. And that's why they're saying full spectrum, broad spectrum are more efficacious. It's not only that there's a theory that that's possible, you look for credible scientific evidence. And this is one of the best scientific papers that I've seen published. This was published in September of 2018. And it's actually a peer review paper of 11 studies involving over 670 participants that is basically validating the quality of life improvement in treatment-resistant epilepsy. So these are people that don't respond to normal treatment, and what they were looking at is how can we improve their quality of life? So the first group got CBD isolates. They showed a 46% reported improvement in all of their symptoms. The full spectrum or broad spectrum oil achieved a 71% reported improvement. Hey, listen, that's almost twice as much. That in itself would have been proof positive. But look at the next part of the slide, average intake of participants. CBD isolates were required to take 25 milligrams per day of CBD isolate versus full spectrum only 6 milligrams per day to achieve almost twice the effect. So it's pretty much proof positive that the entourage effect does work. You can actually enhance the entourage effect in the body. These terpenes are very fragile, so when you process the oil, a lot of times they're damaged. And if you want to enhance the entourage effect, you add stabilized hemp terpenes back into your formula. Is absorption, because absorption matters. You can't influence the endocannabinoid system unless these phytocannabinoids get into your bloodstream, because that's the carrying agent to all these receptor sites. That is called bioavailability. And unfortunately, these hemp cannabinoids are fat-soluble molecules that tend to cluster together in big groups. Very hard to absorb. In fact, it's estimated and shown that the average absorption rate of orally taken CBD oil or hemp oil is only about 10%. So if you took 25 milligrams, you're only getting about 2.5 milligrams of benefit because the absorption is so poor. They did discover that if you will hold that oil under your tongue for a minute or two, you can actually double the absorption or bioavailability rate to around 20%. But none of those are very acceptable in terms of science. So how do you solve the problem? The solution came from a brand new process that is called sonic emulsification. And the first thing that it does is it breaks up these clusters of fat-soluble molecules into these little bitty nanostructures of hemp cannabinoids. In other words, it makes hemp oil, which is what's called hydrophobic. In other words, if you mix oil and water, they separate. It changes these little molecules into what is called hydrophilic, which means they bond to water. In fact, the absorption rate goes to over 90%. So absorption matters in terms of the product. And then finally, how could you possibly maximize the effect of hemp oil, these nanostructures of hydrophilic molecules in human physiology? Well, we found that there is actually a synergistic effect that is caused by Alovéa stabilized ace-mannan. Ace-mannan is the biologically active molecule in aloe vera that is shown to be nature's most powerful non-toxic molecule for supporting proper immune function. So what you're getting is two different mechanisms of action, both the endocannabinoid influence of regulation and ace-mannan's immunomodulating effect that comes from macrophage activation. The combination of those two accomplishes this. Number one, supporting the endocannabinoid system with the most bioavailable broad-spectrum hemp oil can provide an immediate impact to the most challenging quality of life issues. The ace-mannan modulating fractions of aloe vera can help now maximize the body's response to the root causes of those challenges. So you're not only getting immediate relief, you're getting support of total recovery from the conditions that cause those. This slide shows that ace-mannan provides advanced immune support through macrophage activation. Again, macrophages are white blood cells that are developed in the bone marrow. How do we know that this is the best technology on the market? Well, you can just read and study all the science, or you can let somebody else do that for you, which is this organization right here. It's called Dream for the Cure Cancer Research Foundation, and they specialize in immunotherapy research. Immunotherapy is the cutting edge of cancer research because what science has determined is the most powerful mechanism anywhere on the planet for fighting cancer cells is the human immune system. And so immunotherapy is all about finding ways of enhancing the immune system's ability to detect and destroy cancer cells. And they do it through antibody research and development. But the effectiveness of immunotherapy is directly related to the strength of their patient's immune system. So what they're looking for is, how do we enhance the overall immune function? Its regulation, its activation, its modulating capacity. And that led them to our product. So folks, there's a lot going on in the hemp CBD industry. But if you want to know the absolute best technology, do what Dream for the Cure Foundation did. Find the best scientifically validated product on the market, which is called Evolve Entourage Squared. As you can see from this slide, this is a patent pending technology. And it's been double tested to ensure that there is absolutely no THC. It is hydrophilic nanotechnology, offers the best absorption rates, and it is by far the most advanced technology because it has been supercharged with Alovéa ace mannan. In 2019, our product, Evolve Entourage, with this unique combination of highly bioavailable hemp oil and ace mannan, won the Innovation Award of the Year in 2019. And I'll just close with this, guys. Listen, this is going to be one of the biggest markets that healthcare, particularly the nutrition industry, has ever seen. You know, in 2018, they predict that the endocannabinoid system supporting technologies of hemp generated about $500 million of revenue in the sale of product. By 2022, that's expected to go up over 4,000% to $22 billion, which will make it by far the biggest segment that the nutrition industry has ever experienced. So we want to encourage everybody watching this video, consume the product. It will absolutely change your life, and also consider helping us champion this cause. Help us educate consumers everywhere and change their lives. And through our buy one, give one strategy of social business, we not only get to enhance your lives, we get to touch the lives of the world's most vulnerable children through our distribution model. Thanks for watching this segment. Have a great day.